Lakshya. So today let's start our class 6th NCERT science lesson, separation of substances. In the previous part we learned few methods to separate a group of mixtures. So we learned about hand picking method, threshing method, winnowing method as well as sieving method. But yes, in this lesson let's learn few other methods to separate a group of mixtures. So we have three processes. We have sedimentation, decantation and filtration process. So first of all, let's start with the sedimentation process. So here I have a mixture of sand and water. So when the heavier component settles down after the water is added to it is called the sedimentation process. Here you have the sand. So the sand is heavy in weight. So the heavier component, it got settled down. So this process is called as the sedimentation process. And now you have the decantation process. So the second process is decantation process. For this process, I am trying to take another beaker. And here I have a mixture of water and sand, as you can see. And now I wanted to separate the sand from the water, or else the water from the sand. So just add water in this beaker. So here I separated water from the sand. So this is the process of decantation process. And now I have decanted water. So this water consists few dust particles and the husk particles in it. So I need a fresh and highly purified water. And now for this process I need a purified water. So for this purified water I need a water. So here you have the third method, which is the filtration. So for this filtration process we need a funnel and a filtered paper. So just try to fold this filter paper in a cone shaped one. So filter paper has a very small pores in it, very tiny pores. So thus this filter paper, these tiny pores can absorb few dust particles which get stuck in it. So just try to shape it in a cone shaped one. So fix this filter paper inside the funnel. And now take another beaker. Place this funnel on the beaker. And now here I have the decanted water. Add some water. And here you can see the drop by drop water is falling in the water. So here I got a filtered water at last. So this is the process of filtration where we get a fresh and purified water. So this is the process of filtration. So the best example for filtration is the separation of tea from the tea leaves. So here I have a glass. So we have a glass and a tea bowl. So just take a strainer. With the help of the strainer, add tea in the strainer. You can see few tea leaves which get stuck on the strainer, or else which gets remained on it. So so you have the filtered tea which falls in the cup and you can have it. So this is the process of filtration where the tea leaves get stuck on the strainer and you have the filtered water, filtered tea where you can have it. So here, if you observe through the microscope, you can see few dust particles and the husk particles where it remains on the filtered paper. So you have the filtered water and a purified water which gets you have the purified water at last comes out. So this is the process of filtration, sedimentation, decantation and the filtration process. Understood? And now let's go for the next processes is evaporation and the condensation process. Evaporation and condensation process. So for this, you have the evaporation and the condensation process. So what is evaporation process? Conversion of water into water vapor is called the evaporation process. So the best example is here I have a bowl. So pour some water in this bowl. Put a fire under it. And when we heat the water, when the water is heated, you can see few water vapors. You can find the water, it gets evaporated. So the water converts into water vapor. So the water which is there, the liquid state converts into the gaseous state. So this process is called as evaporation. Is nothing but conversion of water into water vapor. Conversion of liquid state into the gaseous state is called as evaporation. Let's write down here for better understanding. Conversion of water into vapor is called as evaporation. And now you have the condensation process. So what is the process of condensation? Condensation is nothing but the process conversion of water vapor into water is called as condensation process. So it's nothing but conversion of vapor into water is called as the condensation process. Coming to the experiment again, just place a plate on the bowl and you can find few water droplets. You can find a few very little tiny droplets on the plate. So what happens here is the water vapor which is there, the vapor it gets and it hits the plate and again it converts into water. So the conversion of vapor into water is called as the condensation process. You have another example of evaporation. So the best example is how do we get salt and from where do we get salt? Yes, we get salt from the seawater. Seawater consists of lots of salts in it. So the farmers, they dig shallow pits in the land and they pour seawater in these pits and they try to dry all the water under the sun. Have the sun here. Okay, and now the sun which is there, you have the evaporation process. Here you can find the evaporation process. So the heat is emitted out by the sun, heat energy is emitted out by the sun, and the water which is there. So all the water is evaporated and you can evaporated by the sun, by the heat, and the water goes by living some sand crystals, or sorry, salt crystals behind. So all the water evaporates by leaving few salt crystals behind. So this process is the best example of evaporation process. Condensation, as we know, the conversion of water into vapor is called as the condensation process. I hope you understood today's lesson to this lesson, separation of substances. I will be back again with a new lesson. Till then, take care. Bye.